Good evening, friends. Ash here, WAT News, with some news and election updates. It's January the 12th, 2021. I can't seem to get out of December. I don't know what's going on. So I fell into this, I'm doing a Leonardo dig, and Leonardo, if you're not aware, is a defense contractor out of Italy, where it's alleged that they were hacked by one of their two people actually in the company, hacked into this company. And there is a case going on in Italy, but what I wasn't aware of, and I just fell into this information because I was doing a dig. I was doing two charged with hacking Leonardo Spa because I know Arturo Delia is one of the people that has been accused of that. Now the allegation is that Delia has more information and that he's willing to talk to authorities and that he has a dead man switch. But we don't know that for sure yet. But the interesting thing that's going on that I found interesting is that the CEO of Leonardo just got indicted. And his name is Alessandro Profumo. He's the CEO of Leonardo Spa. And he was convicted. He could pose threat to firms' IPO plans. This article came out on Christmas Day, so I missed it. A politically charged standoff over an Italian aerospace giant's convicted fraudster CEO is now threatening to hit America's shores. Leonardo Spa, a massive defense contractor that sells everything from missiles to cybersecurity services, is considering a stock listing for its U.S. subsidiary, Leonardo DRS. I wasn't aware of this, so I'm going to do a dig on this. We're going to look into Leonardo DRS in a second, which does business with the Pentagon. And that raised my eyebrows because now we're connecting with the Pentagon now, right? The IPO talks come as the company comes under fire in Italy because its CEO, Alessandro Profumo, is staring down a 6-year prison sentence and resisting calls to step down as he appeals the verdict. The politically connected Profumo, who's reportedly earned the nickname Mr. Arrogance for his aggressive style, was convicted in an Italian court in October of false accounting and market manipulation for his role in an accounting scheme in a separate company. But Leonardo has stood by him, arguing that the 63-year-old CEO's conviction is not final and entirely unrelated to his current employer. Therefore, as far as Mr. Profumo's legal concerns are related, we can reiterate that the Leonardo board reaffirmed their confidence in Mr. Profumo's leadership last October, and this will have no impact on his continued ability to lead the group. The Rome-based firm told the Post in a statement. Leonardo, the world's 11th largest arms merchant, with about $11 billion in weapons sales last year, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, is also seeking to grow its U.S. business, according to Reuters, which reported last month that the Italian parent intends to maintain control of DRS, the unit exploring a U.S. listing. DRS, which Leonardo acquired in 2008, already makes up a big chunk of the Italian's parent's business with about 1.7 billion euros, roughly $2.1 billion in revenue for the first 9 months of the year, accounting for some 19% of Leonardo's total. The U.S. Department of Defense has been asked to weigh in but has yet to respond, according to Giuseppe Bavona, a partner at London-based hedge fund Bluebell Capital Partners, who wrote to the Pentagon on October 27th. If the CEO of a U.S.-listed company was sentenced to jail, his or her resignation pending appeal would be immediate and irrevocable, Bavona's letter read. There is a reputational issue, a suitability issue, Bavona told the Post. If your main client is the U.S. Department of Defense, I can tell you that they're going to pick up the phone and ask you what the hell is going on. Bavona, who helped uncover the fraud Profumo allegedly committed at Banca Monte dei Paschi di Siena, an Italian state-owned bank, said he hasn't heard back from the Pentagon, which also didn't respond to the Post's request for comment. Bavona, who is advising an institutional fund that's suing Monte dei Paschi di Siena, claims Profumo is being protected by his ties to Italy's Democratic Party, a plank of the coalition government that controls the Ministry of Economy and Finance, which is also Leonardo's largest shareholder. But pressure also appears to be mounting in Italy, where Profumo has also been blasted by lawmakers on both sides of Italy's parliament. The ruling Five Star Movement Party urged him to step down soon after he was convicted. while Matteo Salvini, head of the opposition Northern League Party, has said he should weaken Leonardo's business. He could weaken Leonardo's business. So it's a long article. Profumo's in deep trouble, right? If he can't win appeal, he's going to jail for 6 years. U.S. experts say the Leonardo scandal has the potential to create bumps in the defense contractor's road to a U.S. listing. I'd be shocked if any self-respecting investment bank would partner with them and take public pending this state of affairs. So that's interesting, right? And then I started looking into him a little bit more. And so, and I found, well, this site won't let me in there. Profumo, let me do a little more back dealing. Here you can see he was a convicted of false accounting back in October 15th of 2020. And they received a 6-year prison sentence. Pair accused of improperly accounting for derivatives deals. So Profumo's in trouble, and they're letting him stay on. And the problem is this company wants to launch DRS in the States. And when I started to look up Leonardo DRS, you can see that they do have a $435 million U.S. defense contract with the Pentagon. And this was September the 6th of 2018. DRS Network and Imagining Systems, LLC, a unit of Leonardo Spa, has been awarded a $435 million U.S. defense contract for infrared thermal receiver units, the Pentagon said on Thursday. And that's all we got on that. Infrared thermal receiver unit. I'm not sure what that is. So when I looked up DRS, it's again under the Leonardo umbrella, and here's their symbol. And I found something. This is where it got a little bit strange. I was trying to find some more information about them, like some press releases. And where was it? Yeah, here. Leonardo DRS is all over the United States, but one of their locations is 2345 Crystal Drive in Arlington, Virginia, which is like a known area for, CIA and all these like classified clandestine stuff. So I'm not saying that's what this is. Obviously, this is a foreign company, but why are they all over the place like this? Let's see, where else are they? They have all these things, Advanced Acoustic Concepts, Pennsylvania, joint venture between Leonardo DRS and Thales Defense and Security, specializes in undersea warfare. They have all these ones all over the country, Advanced Acoustic Concepts in San Diego, in Columbia, Maryland, in Hauppauge, New York, Washington, D.C., all over the place. It's huge like amount. So I'm not sure what this is. Their corporate headquarters is in Arlington, Virginia. So, and they're a leading technology innovator and supplier of integrated products, services, and support to military forces. So the problem is these people, this company was hacked somewhat, and we don't know how deep that hack went, right? And now they're connected with the Pentagon, and it appears, if what the allegations are saying are true, that one of their military satellites may have been used to send votes from overseas there that were changed back to the Dominion servers through Germany. So if that allegation is true, and this company is all over our country as well, we have an issue, right? At least that's what I think. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Will Profumo be forced to step down? Or will they somehow be able to let him stay at Leonardo? What's going to happen with Leonardo DRS? Because they're trying to get more deals done in this country. They're pretty much inside of our country, pretty deep. So somebody needs to fully hedge these people, to fully vet these people out if they haven't already, right? So I also wanted to go back to sort of game plan where we are right now, because it's hard to tell, right? It's starting to look like one aspect of it is starting to look like Trump's sort of done, right? But that's not how I'm feeling for some reason. And the reason I'm not is because of a couple things that I've been hearing, and just, there's a lot of information coming out, right? And we don't know who's telling the truth anymore, and what's not true, right? I mean, and all kinds of sites are getting taken down, and we know it got taken down, I'm pretty sure, on YouTube. I was looking for his video and it was gone. And when I went to his website, all his videos are like blacked out, so, which usually means that your Facebook got taken down. So that sucks, because he put a lot of work. Yeah, see, all his videos are gone. So he put a lot of work into, doing all this work, man, and it's all gone now again. They took his channel down. YouTube accounts has been terminated. So maybe he terminated it himself, but I doubt it. So anyway, friends, we're trying to get more information, right? That's all we're trying to do. What's interesting to me is that Gateway Pundit never published the emergency declaration that Trump did. So FBI warned of extremist plot to attack Congress on January 6th, but Capitol security was not increased to meet threat. So, it's starting to look like some people were warning about this that possibly could happen, and why didn't the Capitol Police adequately secure it, right? Why didn't the mayor adequately secure it and get National Guard troops positioned in certain spots so it would be safe, right? Hillary Clinton labels Trump supporters domestic terrorists who need to be tracked and surveilled. Yeah, I've seen a couple of articles like this where they're saying that people need to be put on no-fly lists now. Anybody who was at the protest, right? Even if you just peacefully protested and were nowhere near the Capitol, you got to be on the list now. D.C. Attorney General looking at charging Trump and others for inciting violence. He didn't incite violence, right? It was a peaceful protest until all the people came in from the outside. Now, if you start to look into James and John Sullivan, you'll see that they're on both sides they're on different sides of these protests, right? John Earl Sullivan was the one who photographed, who was videotaped Ashlii Babbitt shooting. But from the research that I've done and others have done, like Tori says has done, she was the one where I got this originally from. John has a brother, James, and they're both apparently from Utah. Most of the things of times someone was arrested, it was John. He was arrested in a shooting that took place, that he was right nearby in Utah during one of the protests. I think it was this one. John Earl Sullivan of Sandy was booked into the Utah County Jail for investigation of rioting, making a threat of violence and criminal mischief on June 29th. A group calling itself Back to Blue planned to drive around the Provo Police Department and honk their horns. But see, this guy is Antifa. So I don't know, if there's some kind of scam going on here, because the other brother is saying that he is down with the other side of it, right? He's not with Antifa. And I even saw some video somewhere about that he was saying my brother is supports Antifa and I don't. And I'm not sure where he was speaking when I saw that, but that video I couldn't find it later, so I'll have to do more research. But from the research I did, John has a brother, James, and both of them are involved in different causes in Utah. And there's nothing much, they're starting to already take a lot of the videos down about them. But you can go online and start to dig this. If I just look for James Sullivan, Utah, a couple of articles will come up. If I look for some articles, this article here, is this it? Wait, no, yeah. I think it's this article here would come up, and it is about James Sullivan having an issue at one of these, showing up with a rally with somebody. Man faces assault charges after allegedly brandishing gun at Black Lives Matter Utah protesters. So let's watch this quick clip because I wanted to include it. Let's go back and start from the beginning, okay?
Multiple charges of assault and disorderly conduct after cell phone video shows him brandishing a gun at a Black Lives Matter Utah protest. But his friends say he did it out of self-defense. ABC4's Rosie Nguyen joining us live in studio. And Rosie, tell us where this all happened.
Emily, this took place last night outside the West Valley City Police Department. Organizers say the protest was to memorialize Damien Evans.
Just to be clear, James is going to come in this video towards the end, okay? And from what I could gather, he's alleging that he was nervous about showing up to this thing. He needed a bodyguard, and that this guy who allegedly, well, no, he actually does pull out the gun on video, was brought there by James, that he had that guy come along as his bodyguard. That was, I think, what he was saying, so I just wanted to make that clear before we go on. All right.
The man died in an officer-involved shooting in August, but what happened next is complicated, so we wanted to present both sides and let the public decide on their own.
Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up. Touch me again. Hey, don't you pull that gun out. Don't you pull that gun out.
This is not how Lex Scott, organizer of Black Lives Matter Utah, says she wanted Wednesday night's demonstration to end.
First, the second, the third, all of them to come home.
Someone was saying a poem, and so then I heard the sound of a taser.
According to the West Valley City Police Department, a fight broke out between protesters with Black Lives Matter Utah and counter-protesters with Civilized Awakening. During this fight, investigators say 44-year-old Brando Schroerluck deployed pepper spray on others.
Then a group of people came to block him from protesters. He then attacked them. We formed a line to protect, and then he unholstered his gun and began aiming it at us.
Oh, are you going to give us a little escort, Trevor?
No, I'm not going to give you an
Oh, touch me. That's an assault.
Oh, no.
That's assault.
Oh, so assaulted.
You've assaulted me.
So assaulted.
You've assaulted me.
Did I hurt you?
Yes,
Did I
you've
shove you
assaulted
too hard
me.
enough?
But James Sullivan of Citizens Awakening says that's not what happened. He says because of the history he has with Black Lives Matter Utah, he brought Schroerluck for protection as a bodyguard. But Sullivan says Schroerluck ended up having to defend himself.
He got up in Randall's face and he started pushing up against him and pushing him back, and then Brando told him 3 times. He said, if you don't stop, he's like, I'm going to have to tase you if you don't stop.
Sullivan says he attended not to create conflict, thinking the event was in support of 13-year-old Lyndon Cameron, a teen with autism who was shot by Ogden police earlier this month.
I went out just to get footage of it because I thought it was pretty cool that Black Lives Matter was advocating for somebody that wasn't black.
But it was actually a different event. Nonetheless, Scott says she believes those who have conflict or tension with Black Lives Matter Utah should stay away from them.
They were the aggressor, and now they're playing the victim. They're lying to protect themselves. They're desperate, and they need to just stay away from us. Just leave us alone. Let us practice our constitutional rights and leave us alone.
Schroerluck faces 4 counts of assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct. West Valley City Police say they are investigating and could possibly press more charges. Emily, back.
Okay, so I just wanted to include that clip, all right, because what I'm saying and what I think is going on here, and this is just my take on it, right, is that if these guys are brothers, James and John Sullivan, which I'm pretty sure they are, because they look a lot alike to me in their facial features and some of their stuff. They don't look exactly alike, but they do look somewhat alike to me. And now I don't know if they're brothers, right? But I'm assuming that they are because they're from Utah, which is not, like Salt Lake City is not a huge place, and they're both named Sullivan. And so I'm going to assume that they are brothers, just for now. And that's the one assumption I have to make that I don't know is particularly altogether true. But what I am starting to think is going on here is that you have one brother, James, who's on the other side of the Antifa coin, right? and he's with some cause that's on the other side of that equation. And then you have the other brother, John, who's with Black Bloc Antifa or wherever he's with on that side, and they're working this thing together where they're showing up at these different events and doing this and making it look like there's all this tension, but it's actually just being staged by them. But now the thing is somebody got shot, right? Now, did they stage that whole thing? Did these two brothers team up with all the people that they have and do this? We don't know. But my point is, these two brothers are, if they're brothers, are on opposite sides of this coin, and they're pushing the two things together, and I think that's a problem. I think they're being run by somebody. That's my guess, if I had to think about it. And I think that's what Tori was alleging, but I don't speak for her, obviously. But, you know, she was saying that there's too many coincidences here, and how are these guys on different sides of the coin if they're living together still at home, or how are they communicating with each other? Are they still brothers? And, you know, are they talking, right? Because if one of them is on the other side of the coin, do they hate each other's guts? It doesn't seem like they do. I saw some other video where he was talking about his brother, James, saying, yeah, he's on the other side of it. He's in Antifa. So I don't know how he would get up in front of a other group and say that without having some kind of issue with that group. So that's why I'm starting to think that there's something going on here with these groups on both sides. And they're being used in some way to, you know, and this has been going on in the past too, right? With Antifa, with the BLM, with all the stuff, the riots and all the stuff. These are groups that are being used for a purpose. And there's different people involved in it. And that's my guess, because we've seen way too many of these riots, and they're not organic. I mean, most of these are not organic. These are people that I think are being paid to do it. There's people who have seen them traveling around in groups together. And what's I think going to come out in the end is when you backtrack the money, you'll be able to find out who these people really are connected with, and who they're connected to, and who's really financing it. You know, and we'll have to see how far up the chain that goes. So I don't want to talk too much longer, guys. I just wanted to put that out there. Stay frosty. A lot of information, I'm assuming, is going to keep coming out. So we'll keep reporting it, and we'll see where it takes us. Whenever the president speaks, I'll put it up. And I think they're going to be having tonight the hearing in the House about the impeachment and all that. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll try to get that out there. So with that, friends, have a great night. Maybe somebody want to dig the Sullivan brothers and see what the story is with them. Someone's involved with them, running them is what I'm thinking. Who gives them all this money? How are they traveling? How is the brother traveling? How is John traveling to D.C., right? Staying in a nice, sweet hotel. That costs a lot of money. Anyway, friends, have a nice night. Wish you well. Peace and love. Ash signing off for now.